Okay, boys. Okay, boys. 5.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games, and today we're here to showcase a new expansion for PoE 1.
Nos salió el Marco Roberto.
Had one of these.
Trolearon.
Had some struggles as a studio for a little while there, but we've got our shit together and we're back in action now. Path of Exile: Secrets of the Atlas is coming out 1 week from now on the 13th of June, and we're committing right now to a 4-month cycle for both PoE 1 and 2.
W.
PoE 2 League will be in August, and the next
W.
week after that will be in October.
Vamos.
Drops are enabled on today's live stream.
Lo activo, baby.
Your Skull of Undeath helmet skin by following the
Yes. Mira, mira, se está quedando.
Skull of Undeath will track and show your total number
El casco para los cornudos.
and your
Los cornudos del chat van a tener
Just because
casquito.
Path of Exile is in a first-person shooter doesn't mean this isn't important.
Gracias por los drop. Gracias por los drop.
Shamefully, link it to your friends or in global chat to show it off. And with that, let's get to why you're here. Secrets of the Atlas.
Vamos.
Search 1,000 worlds and still never truly discover who you are. Trust me. I should know. But now, I seek something more tangible.
Mecánica fuera de mapas. Ok, mecánica fuera de mapas. ¡Sana! ¡Sana!
Reliving memories. Made real.
¡No! Le quemó los papeles al papá. No.
Made foul. These
¿Qué
manifestations
mierda es eso?
must be destroyed.
No,
Threads must.
mecánica reciclada del árbitro Faches.
I must have answers.
Reciclando voces del PoE 2.
We must find the originator.
Osana chica.
We must save my sister.
Es la hermana. Es la hermana. Es el hermano. Liga de incesto incoming. Nuevos pináculos voces. ¿Qué es esa mierda? Crafting mechanics. Crafting. King match completo. No hay que hacer la ciudad. Vamos. Yo sabía. Rune craft. What the fuck. Betrayal rework. Ok. Mercenarios. 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 Vamos. ¿Qué es eso? Equipo de mercenarios. No, conche tu madre. No te lo creo. No. Wow.
Se unió a la agencia cara muy sonriente.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts.
Gracias por resumir. Marco Roberto.
As you just saw from the trailer, there's a lot to show you. Today, we will take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile: Secrets of the Atlas endgame update. Then,
Okay.
we'll explore the new challenge league,
Mercenarios.
Mercenaries of Trathus.
Mercenarios. Qué grande Diablo 2.
Here we won,
Integración de oro.
settlers of Kalguur into
Settlers al core. Ok.
Finally,
Betrayal.
awaited upgrade to Betrayal
Ok.
League and a set of quality of life improvements.
Betrayal. No, esta vez.
We'll wrap up by discussing our boss kill race event, showing you our new supporter packs, and ending
Ah, fucking. Después hago el bingo. Después hago el bingo. Me cuesta encontrar la wea. Soy ciego.
your questions from Twitch chat. In Path of Exile: Secrets of the
Al
Atlas,
final tachamos, sí.
strange rifts have begun to appear across
Ok. Portales empiezan a aparecer en el Atlas. Vuelve a Sana.
to be trapped within.
Y está atrapada. No, hay que rescatarla. ¿No era un boss entonces?
Egan, an intelligent man
Egan.
with mysterious heritage.
¿El Buba?
These tears in reality he has discovered are
¿El Bubi?
actually threads of memory, distorted and made real.
Pedazos de memoria.
Egan is able to create a link to these memory threads and
Ok, el portal está
you
bacán.
must step through
No, Sana cuando chica era gorda,
whatever remains of her.
era gorda y tenía cara de media weona.
Okay, so that's the story background. But how does this expansion actually
El mazo glow up, ¿qué se mandó a la Sana, bro? What the fuck?
The pursuit of Zana with Egon is a new storyline that is introduced
Okay.
in high tier maps.
Nuevo lore, nuevo lore.
Finding Egon and discovering the tier, he will then transfer it to your map device and reveal this on your atlas
Oh,
of memories.
cagaron las memory
You
chat.
can now access each map on the thread.
Ya no existe las memories como antes.
Egon when you're ready, and he'll open the areas in sequence.
Rip memories. Las cambiaron todas.
Areas can be fully influenced by your Atlas tree,
Okay.
scarabs, fragments, and everything
Ya,
of the sort.
básicamente RIP Memories.
As you work your way along the thread,
Lo habían dicho.
discover
Alguien lo
that
había
maps
dicho.
have manifested dangerous threats
Oh shit.
by the memories of Zana herself. Monsters here are imbued with memory petals. Defeat them,
Pétalos de memoria.
which can be unleashed as a special ability during combat.
Ok.
Maps on the thread have different abilities, and these abilities appear on an additional mini skill bar.
Te dan habilidades extra. Ok.
For example,
A ver.
Memory of Disbelief will cause all affected monsters to stop dropping equipment
Ah, la mierda. 8 portales. Me forré, bro.
valuable items
Me forré.
and maps. Memory of Panic will make all affected monsters revive,
Bueno, son como los centinelas.
which means you can get
Ese es un centinela que revive.
and drops from them.
Como los centinelas, pero un centinela que revive.
Patience will cause all surrounding enemies to give you their souls, temporarily increasing your power.
Oh.
Progress
Soul
further
Eater.
into the thread of memories.
Ok.
Maps can have more than one memory, and thus you can have more than one powerful ability.
Me puedes stackear la ability.
To gather memory petals, you
Es
can
una
use
forma de
them
Sentinel.
together. Each
Ok, ok,
an
ok.
amount of memory petals.
¿Cuál es skill? Spectral Chiltro.
You can
Breathe.
first use Memory of Impatience to become way more powerful, then use Memory of Panic to prepare them to revive when they are slain, then use Memory of Disbelief to cause them to drop better, more valuable items.
Para full buffea y lo. ¡Tricos!
Obliterate them all. The Memory of Panic will kick in, causing them to revive, and then wipe them out again, allowing you to get all the experience and enhanced drops twice.
4 caos.
There are many
God.
combinations of these powers,
Corre,
so you'll have
corre.
to carefully consider how they best work together. That's not the only extra layer of content juicing these maps offer. As you defeat the boss of each map along the thread, you are presented with an altar. This altar will apply a modifier to all following maps in the thread. These will
Oh.
stack as you go. So the deeper you delve into a memory, the more mods you will have.
God.
Combined with the special abilities, will allow for some of the most juice maps ever run in Path of Exile.
Damn.
Look at some
Ok.
of the altar mods. You are always presented with two
50% de ser poseídos los monsters.
This mod, for example, will cause some rare monsters to be possessed by tormented spirits,
50% es banda.
where this mod makes character
Oh my god.
craft. Both of these apply to all subsequent maps in the thread. The final
Holy
map in
fuck.
the thread is a true challenge, with all the altar mods applying to it and guarded by a powerful boss. Each of these bosses are familiar, but dreamlike, drawn from Zana's memories and warped by the Atlas into something very different and terrifying. In this map, you will fight the pinnacle boss, Cirrus. Fueled by Zana's affectionate memories of him, his enhanced abilities can prove to be a unique challenge.
A la mierda, un mini Cirrus.
If you manage to defeat Cirrus, or one of the other warped memory bosses, they will drop a map fragment, which Egan can use to delve deeper into the memory tears.
Fragmentos de mapas.
With these, you can access a set of 3 new pinnacle bosses.
What the fuck? Echo of Loneliness.
The moment of reverence, Zana is reliving a memory of her father, Valdo, giving a passionate speech in Oriath. The Atlas distorts this memory of her father,
Uh.
influential man, and manifests those emotions into a twisted nightmare, the incarnation of dread.
Wait, ¿no se parece al pájaro del lab del Poe2? No, pero qué voz de mierda.
Created as the
Bullet hell.
incarnation of neglect and the incarnation of fear.
No, pero bro. El papá de Sana la trataba como el pico. Mira cómo se lo imagina.
And strong enough to defeat
Lo sacaba a la mierda.
each of these new pinnacle bosses have new unique items befitting them.
Ojito. Mapa
If you slay
único.
the incarnation
Star
of
Color.
fear, you might be lucky enough to
Starfall o Melee.
call a unique abyssal axe. We're gonna
Quise
show
hacer
this
esta random.
because it's straight up badass.
Ok, a ver, a ver.
Axe
Oh my god.
stars themselves to deal immense damage. What makes it shine, however, is that on melee crit, it casts Starfall, a new skill. With the right build, you can carpet entire areas and wipe out screens of enemies as you rain down the elements upon them. Another item you may
¿Tan raro será ese
this one is my
hacha?
favorite, is the Wine of the Prophet unique flask. It consumes a lot of charges, but every time you use it, you draw a random divination card.
Wait, este flash está muy bueno.
And correlates to a powerful buff. If
What
you
the fuck?
draw the escape card, you'll gain increased movement speed. Or maybe you'll draw the Doctor, which will cause you to gain the modifiers of slain rares you kill.
What the fuck?
Effectively, you can think of this unique as being many other uniques all in one. There
Qué
are many
no.
cards to draw, each with varying degrees of power to grant.
No, qué mierda, qué roto.
But let's get back to the Atlas.
Ok, volver al
After
Atlas.
defeating all 3 new pinnacle bosses,
Ya.
you'll be able to find new memory-influenced Tier 16 maps.
Nuevos tier 16 influenciados.
Previously mentioned special abilities and monsters infused with memory petals, but can also roll the same modifiers typically found on Tier 17 maps, making them far more rewarding.
Damn.
With all these new memory maps comes a new item mechanic. Items in these maps can drop with memory strands, and will have a random amount up to 100. This does a few things. When you identify the item, it will increase the tiers of modifiers your item has.
Qué locura.
Generally speaking, the more memory strands, the better the item will be. On top of this, whenever you're crafting that
Nah, qué locura.
orbs to replace or add modifiers,
Le salen puros tier alto, bro.
chaos, and so forth,
Nah, men, las tremendas bases.
memory strands to make the crafted mods more powerful.
¿Te gasta memory strand? Ok.
Bosses also drop new crafting currencies, which can be used to manipulate the amount of memory strands on an item.
Oh, ok.
The Orb of Remembrance will let you
Yeah.
add memory strands to any normal
Podía... Oh, esa va a valer cara, weón.
perfect base to craft on.
Esa va a estar buena. Bien cara.
Have memory strands. You can add some before.
Le podía agregar antes de craftear, ok.
Orb of Unraveling will consume all remaining memory strands on an item to randomly upgrade its mod tiers.
Oh, what the fuck?
This is based on the number
Y se puede tirar en ítem con influencia, man. ¡Qué locura!
Orb of Intention can be used on memory influence maps to reduce item drops, but improve the chance to find items with memory strands.
Ah, para buscar base, ok. Menos quantity, pero más base.
The items, we realized something was missing. The Shaper and the Elder did not have their own Exalted Orbs. This has now been
Yep.
rectified. Both bosses now have Exalted Orbs, which can add their influence to an item. Zana was there from the beginning, when the Shaper Pinnacle fight was first added. She helped defeat the Elder, and she was a critical part of the Conqueror's storyline. Now, with all 6 influence types having their own Exalted Orbs, the cycle is complete. It's almost as if we could now do some sort of new, epic, unique item to...
No, qué mierda van a hacer ahora.
In other news, there of course has to be Atlas passive tree support for this new endgame content. Let's take a look at a few things we're adding.
Ojito.
The Grasp the Past notable passive skill increases the chance for the amount of memory strands on items
Qué
dropped
locura.
to
Para
influence.
farmear bases.
This
Qué locura para farmear base, bro.
memory strands twice,
Oh my god.
highest value.
Ok.
By allocating traumatic experience, remembered kindness, or educated upbringing, you'll decrease the chance of finding memory threads that lead to specific bosses, meaning you'll have better chances at finding the memory threads you would like to run. This is especially useful if you want to target farm a specific
Liga de crafteo, literal.
unique item drops. In sum, the secrets of the Atlas will have you questioning what is real as you attempt to free Zana from warped memories scattered throughout the Atlas. You'll fight new Guardian and Pinnacle bosses tormenting her, find crazy new Pinnacle uniques, combine and unleash memory petal empowered skills, juice maps to new heights, and craft powerful new items. While we were showing all the juicy
A ver, ¿qué van a hacer con el gold? A ver.
you might have noticed that a lot of gold.
Will culiao vale.
Let's talk about that.
A ver, ¿qué van a hacer con el gold?
It was introduced during the Settlers of Kalguur expansion.
Yep.
It
Yep.
funded the development and operations of King's March.
Había que pagarle sueldo a los hueones.
Features such as the currency exchange, the black market,
Ajá. ¿Van a eliminar eso? Eso está rotísimo.
the respec system with Faustus.
Eso está muy bueno también.
Those
Okay.
features offered by Faustus will be here to stay, along with some of the
Okay.
other services King's March has to offer. We'll get more into that
Ok.
later, but
O sea, no van a remover los recompos.
has already been completed. There will be no more town building. Like before, Gold will be used for town.
Es lo que dije yo, que la ciudad va a estar completa.
A new way to use it in the upcoming league. It's time to talk about Mercenaries of Trathus.
Los mercenarios, bro.
League, you will meet veterans who have traveled all the way from the lawless cities of Trathus.
Yo no había dicho que me gustaría que agreguen los mercenarios hace como 2 días o algo así.
You will encounter these mercenaries.
Soy un fucking profeta, bro. Soy un fucking profeta, bro. No, está muy godés y no tiene cuello, bro.
And come with different builds, skills, and items already equipped. After meeting them, as per the Trathan code, they will challenge you to a duel, a test of strength and conviction. Before beginning the duel,
Cacha.
you will be
Y
offered
tiene
an
currency
overview
y
of the
equipito.
gear you've encountered. Here, you can see the gear they have equipped, the skills they employ,
Boon arrow.
and support effects augmenting those skills.
Damn, ok.
You must now make a choice. You can hire their services,
Ok.
take
Lo
one
puedes
of their
contratar,
items,
robarle un ítem
or exile
o
them.
matarlo a la mierda.
If you
Ok.
choose to hire them, for a gold cost, they will accompany you as a skilled combatant to assist you in fighting monsters throughout Rayclast.
Ya, banco,
Once
banco.
you've decided, you can begin the duel. This is a
Lo
great
contratáis, pero tenéis que ganar. Lo tenéis que
don't want
ganar.
to be out of pocket with a useless rookie. However, they're testing you too. They also don't want to be working for an amateur.
Hey, noobs no. Noobs no.
What items might they be using? Generally speaking, mercenaries
Ah, pero weón, el Messenger.
normally find from different
Bro,
they've been
anillo de 20 divines. ¿Qué wea?
also come equipped with unique items.
The
That
Princess.
would make sense for the skills they are using. There are
Así es como le digo a tu vieja.
unique items that can only be obtained from defeating them. One such unique is Scornflux.
Scornflax.
Boots combine agility with the mastery of
Arcane Surge.
while equipped. Increases to cast speed from Arcane Surge also apply to movement speed.
Damn.
Which is worth noting is now
Okay.
20% inherently from Arcane Surge, up from 10. They also grant
Nice.
Arcane Surge when you use
10.
the movement skill. This allows for some speedy spellcasters.
¿Pero eso es solo para el mercenario o no?
Particularly infamous Trathan mercenaries, bearing the name of their house.
Pero parece que no le podéis poner tu equipo, ¿no?
From the 4 major death
Como que
trade
lo encontráis con Gear. Le podéis robar uno,
but have far better items.
pero le podéis robar un ítem, bro. O sea, claro, podéis ver ítems muy cerdo y robárselo.
Which convert all of your minions' fire damage to chaos,
Oh my god, ¿y ese?
which causes nearby enemies to take more physical damage as you gain more fortification.
No, ese casco es insano.
You're not swayed by any of their
¿Se lo podéis robar?
however, you can always challenge them for the contents of their pocket.
No, ese Gear vale callampa. Le,
Lose the duel, don't worry.
le robó un
You
fusing.
need to give them an item. You aren't bound to Trathan tradition like they are. However, you are bound to Rayclast tradition.
Ah, o sea, es como Latinoamérica.
Just die.
Le puedes robar tú, pero no te roban a ti.
Not really.
Los vais a saltar nomás.
Each player can decide whether or not they want to participate
Latam moment.
against the mercenary. For each player that opts in, the mercenary gets more difficult. But if they're defeated, each player has a 50% chance to get a random reward, which is usually currency items from the mercenary's pouch.
Ah, esto para party. Ok. Nadie juega en party, who cares?
Alternatively, party members that opt out of the fight can spectate and cheer you on. Or they might wish for your demise. So
¿Por qué hay un divine arriba?
allocated divine waiting off screen.
Dead. Good.
Let's say you won the duel, like their items, and have decided to hire them. What
Damn, el one sin cuello está god.
Each mercenary has an archetype. Here, this mercenary is an Eruptor, which perfectly couples with my slower, more aura-focused Scion. This mercenary is highly aggressive, and will get a lot of benefit from the auras and buffs I provided.
Mira, el buen Brigio se tira nomás.
When I'm playing a more aggressive character myself though, I'll want a mercenary with a bit more resilience and utility. I've
Es
just
como en el Diablo, po, weón.
who can spawn with,
Si vais melee, quería un weón que sea
if you're lucky,
duro.
a very rare golden support that causes the fortify granted by his vigilant strike to apply to me as well.
Oh.
He will also free
Ok.
during crime,
Te dan aura de Fortify.
and operating as a tanky frontline while I blitz off damage from the back. Sometimes when you fight a mercenary, you may notice the skills they're using are different from normal. For example,
¿Se considera minion tuyo?
is using a
Oh,
Trathan
no.
version of Siege Ballista. If you're lucky, you will be able to select that as your reward when challenging them. Then defeat them, and they'll drop
Siege Ballista of Trathus. No, gemas nuevas.
one mercenary accompanying you at a time, but up to 3 total in your service. The other 2 will wait patiently in town,
Ah, mira, puedes tener guardados. Ok.
as there may be situations where you need specific backup, like a difficult boss fight. Any of your mercenaries you have active, or in your reserves, can have their
Ah, no. No, sí los podía equipar. No, qué locura.
So you will want to be looking out for more skilled and more powerful mercenaries.
No, ya fue, men. Los podía equipar tú mismo. No, qué locura.
If your mercenary falls in combat, you will need to return to town and spend some gold on healing supplies to get them back on their feet. Then perhaps
Supongo que no podéis cambiarle las skills, po. Pero podéis cambiar el gear. Pero no las
I
skills.
just wanted to clarify, mercenaries do not lose their equipment when defeated. If your
No,
merc buddy
no son como la G.
fails you,
No se pierde el gear.
dismiss them and find a new, more resilient ally.
Le sacáis el equipo y lo despedí a la mierda. Nah.
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
Ok.
Earlier, I mentioned you could exile
Qué
mercenaries.
fumada.
If you keep running into a mercenary archetype and you think, man, this guy stinks, their gear is trash and they have no auras, you can then choose to exile them. If you win the duel, they'll be forced to leave with their tail between their legs, and you won't encounter that archetype again for a while.
Oh. Ok.
Alongside these new Trathan arrivals, we shouldn't forget about the recent Kalguur ones too. As we mentioned earlier, the Settlers update introduced gold-based respeccing of passive points.
Oh, ¿está en el acto 1?
By talking to a number of NPCs throughout
Hermano, está el refund de puntos
and Lionized Watch.
en el acto 1 y te cobran nada de gold.
Black market item gambling, previously just available in King's March, is now
Oh, no, qué locura. Está en la ciudad de ahora esta wea.
This lets you buy randomly generated
Le
items.
salió un Bloodplay.
Very useful if you're stuck for upgrades or searching for a specific unique. The currency exchange will be returning too. Starting from Lionized Watch in Act 6, you'll
En
be
acto
able to find
6
Faustus.
ya podéis tradear con Faustus. Ahí empezamos a cabear novito.
Now, after almost a year of building, Johan is finally satisfied with the upgrades made to the town. And now
Un year,
resources can be used to
un año armando esa ciudad de mierda.
going core, but there will be no more town building.
Menos mal que no hay que armarla de nuevo.
In the endgame, you'll start
Okay.
to find different ore veins, which Kalguur workers can mine for you. The shipping mechanic invites you to send these ores and
Ok, los barcos se quedan, ok.
Kalguur port,
Rotísimo.
and they'll return rewards in kind. By sending shipments, you'll receive different items, but by sending to
Qué
Kalguur,
locura, los tatús.
you'll also receive tattoos,
Los
which
tatús se mantienen por ahí, ok.
change what
Rotísimo.
stats they grant.
Tatús confirmado. Confirmado tatús.
Kalguur ports will be sending back rune grafts, which is a new passive tree mechanic
Ok, confirmada runas también.
previously offered by the town.
Uy, esa.
Similar to tattoos.
Wait, ¿y esa?
But instead of
¿Qué es eso?
replacing stat nodes, they replace a passive tree mastery node.
Oh my god.
For example, Rune
¿Reemplaza Masteries?
reduces bonuses gained from boots, but increases bonuses gained from gloves. Runegraft of the River has a chance to recover your life to full,
¿Tenía una Witch Tech en el inventario? No.
and the Runegraft of Time, which has a chance for your cooldown skills to instantly recover from their cooldown.
Wow.
Includes cooldowns on your triggers. Just in case you
Wow.
trigger any
Spellslinger buff. Spellslinger buff al fin.
Runegrafts, which cover a wide range of different.
Al fin.
Some are more common, and others rarer. You can only use one of a given type at a time, but you can use them on any mastery on your passive tree
40% global defenses.
for off-class investment. Isla has continued
Holy.
modifications to the Recombinator. She has developed a
Okay.
new method of recombination.
Calmado.
recognizing
Recombinators.
Cell 2. For those unfamiliar,
Oh.
this method allows you to decide
Ok,
which modifier
pusieron el del Poedo, bro.
you want to try merge together.
Combina este y
There's
este.
a success chance you can see.
¡Ah, la mierda! Pero no es 0 como el Poe 2, es 7.9.
It is a good option to use when trying
No, pero bueno, en el Poe 2 es 0.1, po.
projects. Given the
No, rotardo.
existing mechanic was very powerful
Qué locura.
in crafting, we didn't want to remove it. We have kept it, and you can now choose to use it the old way or the new way. By letting fate decide, it will combine the two items randomly. There is no risk of destroying either item.
Hey, gracias por el super.
A la agencia por 21 meses. PogChamp.
Lo mató el ítem, lo mató.
As Settlers is now a core mechanic, we've also added Atlas passive
¿Por
trees.
qué usaría la forma antigua? No entiendo por qué la dejaron.
If you wanted to gather more Reaccion ore, you could take this notable. Each ore has a similar node.
Para gamba. Ah, para que no sepas. Básicamente para que no sepa el porcentaje.
Into thaumaturgic dust, sulfite,
Eso.
and life force into random crops. We've also added a set of Kalguur scarabs.
Sabía que iba a venir una cara, weón. Sabía.
Monsters that guard ore deposits to at least
Soy el fucking profeta, weón.
or gather smelted bars from ore you mark instead of ores. To sum it all up, Kingsmarch is now a thriving town where you can employ a swath of workers to collect resources, refine ores, craft items, and run maps.
Espérate, no mostraron si va a estar la mesa del rune crafting de las weapons. Mostraron que Mastery, pero no mostraron la de las weapons. Parece que la de las weapons y la bench ya no está, ¿eh?
Following on from that, we've also made a substantial rework to another
Fucking rip.
important mechanic, Betrayal.
F.
As a refresher, and to explain to new players, let's briefly explain what Betrayal is. Betrayal is a mechanic introduced in Act 9 and tells the story of Jun Ortoy and her investigation of the Immortal Syndicate. This is a mysterious group of exiles who can seemingly come back from death. You must help Jun to uncover their leader, the Syndicate Mastermind. The Immortal Syndicate is organized into 4 divisions: transportation, fortification, research, and intervention.
Yep, una mierda.
As you encounter the Immortal
Sí.
Syndicate members, you'll gain intelligence for each of these divisions to discover the location of their leaders.
Sí, una mierda.
Their safe houses.
Sí. Caca.
Defeating the division leaders at their safe houses will reward you with intelligence on the Syndicate Mastermind.
Ajá.
In your journey to track down the Syndicate leader, you'll manipulate the members of the Immortal Syndicate to change divisions, form friendships and rivalries, and even banish them from the Syndicate for a time.
Una mierda.
Historically, after encountering and defeating the Syndicate Mastermind, the state of the Immortal Syndicate would reset, requiring you to start from the beginning of the investigation again.
Ajá. Una mierda.
It's always been a difficult decision for players and can often feel bad.
Yep.
Do you fight the Mastermind for a chance at the special loot, or keep farming the safe houses that you've spent so long setting up? Well, in the Secrets of the Atlas expansion, we've split out the Mastermind
Syndicate Medallion.
separate from the core mechanic. The boss is
What?
now accessible through a new fragment that has a chance to drop from the safe house leaders at high levels.
Oh, shit.
No longer resets the state of the Immortal Syndicate. You can now build your Betrayal board to your liking, optimize it, do Mastermind fights, and reap the rewards without having to lose all your progress every time.
Ok. No hay que hacer la wea una pura vez nomás, menos mal.
Now with significantly fewer immunity phases and new rewards.
Nueva recompensa de Catarina.
If you're a new player to Path of Exile 1, don't worry about all this detail. This content is optional and you can discover and engage with it at your own pace.
Hey, si eres nuevo después uno, está bien, weón, no te preocupes, weón.
Drop a Veiled Orb.
Va a valer pico igual.
To Veiled Exalted Orb.
Veil Exalted, yeah.
Chaos Orbs are being
Vuelve los Veil Chaos.
safe house leaders.
Ah, ok, caen de los safe houses.
Now drops the new All Flame Embers.
Ojito, ¿qué es eso?
Flame Embers are map fragments that replace monster packs in endgame maps with different types of special monsters. These packs have unusual properties, compositions, or rewards.
All Flames.
For example, you might use the All Flame Ember of Kulamak, which replaces packs with Syndicate monsters and their leaders, who revive after the map boss has been slain. This might at first sound annoying,
What the fuck?
but these monsters when revived are far more intense and rewarding. It is our intention with All Flames to provide many different types that combine with other mechanics, multiplying with your existing
Oh, qué locura.
in new and interesting ways.
Esta weón va a estar rotísimo.
A good example of this is the All Flame Ember of Propagation. When slain, special rare monsters added by this All Flame here will spread their modifiers to other rare monsters in the map. This can be useful when trying to create singular, very powerful, and very rewarding monsters. Something akin to meat sacks, which are making a reinvented comeback with this update too.
No, mira ese Mitzak.
Another is the All-Flame Ember of Resplendence, which adds monsters that drop no items. But when you slay them, you get buff stacks of increased quantity and rarity to enhance the drops of all other monsters.
Oh, chucha. Bufa MF.
All-Flame Embers can be placed in your map device like scarabs, and used in conjunction
Tienen límite de 2.
to further customize your maps. We're looking forward to seeing which combinations players find to enhance their maps. Perhaps you'll use all scarabs, all flames, or maybe mix and match. It's up to you.
Damn. Para nerfearlo después.
Unique items have also been improved. The veiled modifiers generated on these items
Ese chill valía corneta.
pull exclusive to those uniques.
Ok, a ver.
Bitter Bind Point, for example.
Oh my god.
Spectre specific.
Rise Spectre 2 Projectile más 1 número. No, qué locura.
Aside from improved rewards from the Mastermind, all the safe house rewards have also been rebalanced. We've done a pass on the crafting sprees at the end of many safe houses. For those who aren't aware how these crafting sprees work,
Qué locura.
it's simple. There's a crafting bench with an item in it and a bunch of currency. There's a limited amount of time, and your only objective is to craft the best item.
Weón, odio esta mecánica de mierda. Odio este weón.
Problems that the crafting sprees have is that they often require you to have specific items on hand in order to best maximize your result. But how are you supposed to know that?
Es muy estresante esta wea.
In order to solve this, most of the crafting sprees now offer pre-generated items. This has also allowed us to add much more powerful crafting options in each spree. Let's take a look at a few.
A la mierda, un bitch kid.
In this spree, a
A
random
ver.
or ring
A la mierda. Y tiene un mirror de Calandra ahí. O sea, no, ¿cómo se llama esa wea? No es mirror Calandra.
with this
Qué
reflecting
locura.
crafting
Crit.
spree
Ok, resist.
creates something worthy of
Int.
prey.
Ya. Ya. Caca. Y lo reflejó. Ítem al piso.
You will find a
Donde sale la mierda.
pre-generated unique
El
item,
mist, eso.
a new kind of orb that resembles a Val orb.
Digin Touch.
The same.
Valor.
Normally, you can
What?
only corrupt an item once, but uniques
Doble
can be
corrupt?
corrupted and re-corrupted as many times as there are orbs.
Qué locura.
This orb also allows you to get 2 corrupted implicits and has a much lower chance to brick the item. It
No, está buenísimo, bro.
seeking specific corrupted implicit.
Y lo puedes tirar varias veces.
Of course, if you push your luck, you can still ruin the item.
No, cago. F.
There are also crafting sprees where you still need to provide an item, but those items are generally more accessible and it occurs less frequently. This one allows you to bring your own normal rarity item. Then just go ballistic with a whole ton of scouring orbs and orbs of chance.
Qué bait de mierda, weón.
Ideal
Y pone un heavy bell el hijo de puta. Eso no va a pasar. No les va a salir un mecho de ahí.
provided, the quality of the pre-generated items, and the time allowed to craft your item.
No caigan en el baiteo. No les va a salir.
Options too. If you love gambling for currency,
Gamba.
opening Varici's Emperor's Luck chests.
Barichi
Work just like
Emperor's
Emperor's
Luck.
divination card and provide full stacks of currency.
No, weón.
Lucky enough, unlike me, you could end up with a whole lot of divines.
Weón, ¿te imaginas sale un stack de mirrors?
Betrayal is a good source of veiled items. Veiled items have some important quality of life improvements in this expansion too. All of the crafting bench options normally granted by
Basílica, Bog, Vila,
did now move to the
Brutris Kostler,
so you don't need to.
Wakanaka Wakanikibu.
They are
Okay.
instead found at the entrances to boss rooms in endgame maps.
Se desbloquean el mapa ahora.
You no longer need to speak to Jun to unveil items. You can just right-click them, or the equivalent on gamepad, and select which veiled modifier you want to unveil. Overall, Betrayal is now much more streamlined and more
Damn, está bueno Betrayal.
interrogations.
Shut up!
Chuch.
Now, before we get into our quality of life additions, let's quickly talk about some character balance.
Tiene el casco, sí, por el casco de Jun.
Doing our regular character balance changes.
Oh, shit. Balance, atento, chat, atento. Se viene el deleta Trickster.
Buffing some specific things. This includes spellcasting supports that specifically
Focus channeling.
builds,
Ok, bufas el casting. Winter nuevo.
new options to
What?
the Guardian, Berserker,
Random Time Rule 10 Second Guardian.
and Champion Ascendancy classes.
Saboteo Rework.
Favorites from
Projectile Return. No, what the fuck. Saboteo tiene enemies.
buffing a whole bunch of transfigured
Brave Blast of Unloading.
Combined with the new
No.
crafting,
No.
trail crafting options,
Pará.
graphs for your passive tree,
Pará.
new pinnacle unique items, new modifiers and Trathan gems from the Mercenaries, and of course the Mercenaries themselves to act as an extension to your
No, pará. Pará.
There's a lot of new character options and builds to think about.
Grande Marco Roberto.
Instead of delving into all of these in more
Winter
detail,
is back.
we figured we'd just let you absorb them through the patch notes so you can do it at your own pace. In the Secrets of the
Okay,
Atlas,
quality of lives.
also added
Give me more, give me more.
quality of life features
Más quality of life. Más.
asking for. A lot of these have already been posted, but let's take a look now in case you missed any. You can now pause the game at any time by
La
pressing
pausa,
the
go
in
on.
the menu, or by opening any
W.
interface, like the passive tree.
W.
You'll also be paused if any lag
¿Cuántas veces se morían por abrir las pasivas en medio mapa?
in certain pinnacle arenas
Me pasaba siempre.
will be applied to you that prevents you from pausing.
No podéis pausar en boss, tramposo culiado.
We're also making a change to how you use
Las cajas
characters on
se pueden
small
cliquear ahí.
boxes and monsters imprisoned
Yep.
in essences.
Bueno, yo dije que había un Winter Orb ahí y yo dije, bufa Winter Orb. Y me dijeron que no, me dijeron que estaba pensando pura mierda. Me dijeron maniático. Me trataron de loco. Y tenía razón. Soy el fucking profeta.
of Horizon have been updated. They can now re-roll your Elder and Conqueror Guardian maps. Doing so will re-roll the base map and the Guardian of that map.
Te trataron de
The map device now
Me
has
trataron de chocopete.
inventory. This is particularly useful if you're rolling many maps to run in sequence.
Roleo de mapas, está God.
Varying amounts of scarabs or other map fragments.
Está God.
During breach encounters, all the splinters will be automatically collected and dropped at the end of the breach. On gamepads, we have separated the targeting of monsters and non-monsters, so you are able to target them independently. This removes a bunch of frustration when you are trying to interact with objects in the world and monsters are nearby. You no longer have to kill all of them first. Vendor windows will now remember your last search. This is remembered until you log out and is remembered on a per NPC basis. The amount of characters you can type in the search field has also been increased.
Con 250 límites, God.
Priority items, after right-clicking them, it will highlight all other items which that currency can be used on.
Ahí la vemos.
There are many other quality of life
Shh.
improvements, so keep an eye on the patch notes after this livestream concludes. Alongside the launch of Secrets of the Atlas,
Una
hosting
race.
a competitive event where players will race to be the first to kill the new
¿Para qué?
bosses.
¿Para qué voy a participar? Pues si gano fácil esto.
Placed in the hardcore, solo self-found Mercenaries of Trathus League. We have some interesting prizes in store for the winners. Keep an eye on the news in the lead up to launch,
Nos toca leer 4 horas en un ratito más, literal.
work, and what its prizes are. Next up, we're going to be talking
Oh shit, supporter
about
packs.
supporter packs.
Oh shit.
We're launching 2 new series of supporter packs. The Reaccion Magistrate and Crypt Keeper packs.
Aquí los pobres lloramos.
Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Reaccion Magistrate series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Reaccion Magistrate character effect will bind your character in thorny vines and roses.
Feo y no, feo.
Of the character
Horrible.
have covered. Either your entire body, your lower body, or your upper body.
Horrible.
As you approach waypoints, it will emit leaves and golden petals toward
Ok, eso no se ve, eso se ve cool.
the waypoint
Se ve más cool.
burst around you.
Eso se ve más cool.
Envelop your weapon in thorny vines and golden flora with the Reaccion Magistrate weapon effect. Your weapon will also create a trail to match as you swing, and even comes with its own hit effect when slaying enemies. You are the law while wearing the
A
armor
la mierda, ¿y ese?
Reaccion Grand Magistrate. The Spider Blossom pet activates its defense mechanism, disguising it as an elegant flower when near rare or unique enemies. The Reaccion Imperial Magistrate back attachment comes in 2 forms. Equip either the Tombstone variant, which will leave tombstones in your honor when you meet your demise,
Se murió un Hillock, el softcorecito de mierda.
slain enemies to become enveloped in rose-thorn vines and blossom with golden flowers. Keep track of how well, or poorly, your ultimatums with the Trial Master have gone with the Trials of Chaos hideout decoration. It will keep track of the total number of waves completed, the total number of ultimatums succeeded, or even failed. On top of that, it will track the total number of times you've defeated the Trial Master himself. The Crypt Keeper Pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. With the Crypt Keeper finisher effect, death itself will tear through into the realm of the living and steal the soul of slain unique enemies.
A la mierda.
The Crypt Keeper portal effect creates a gateway for lost souls to pass through.
Holy portal, weón. A la mierda, el portal ese, weón.
Become the true master of the undead by wearing the hallowed Crypt Keeper
Ese armor set está bonito igual.
armored helmet variant and a creepy mask with a spectral hood.
Oh, la máscara horrible.
Looking to have some fun during idle time in your hideout? The Burrowing Bramble Bash hideout decoration.
¡Qué chuch!
Trying to whack as many Devourer heads as possible in the
Pero weón.
It also comes with a scoreboard, so you can try to set new records to show off to your friends, or just visitors coming to trade. Equip yourself with the Ghostly Dead as you ride the line between the living and the dead with the Sacred Crypt Keeper back attachment. The Sacred Archives map device resembles a magical library with the works.
Oh, no, está muy bacán ese map device.
This map device tracks how many of each core league you've completed in in-game maps.
Ok, está cool.
These packs are now available for purchase on both PC and console, and will remain so during Path of Exile, Mercenaries of Trathus.
Me gustó más el de esqueleto que el otro. A mí.
Transactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2. Meanwhile, the Paladin and Penance packs leave the store forever at the launch of the Mercenaries of Trathus League, so now's your last chance to purchase them.
Oh, 7.
Additionally, the Dawn of the Hunt mystery box will be made available for Path of Exile 1. If you have already unlocked any microtransactions from this box in Path of Exile 2, you will of course immediately have access to them.
Ah, van a reciclar las mystery
So
boxes.
much for your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. After
Así
we'll post the full patch notes for Path of Exile, Secrets of the Atlas.
God.
With release at the end of next week, our
A ver, qué mierda No, pero qué pasó.
community team will be posting crucial information
F.
you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest.
No, pero qué pasó. F. Revivió el gaming. Wait, ¿me caí yo o se cayó esto? No, ¿qué pasó?
Dueling mercenaries, fighting new pinnacle bosses in the endgame, and exploring the new crafting systems and character builds next
Ya,
week.
chat, sí o no. Aplauso para el Marco Roberto.
So please get
Aplauso para el Marco Roberto. Se le está yendo la mierda del stream. Pero aplauso para el Marco Roberto. Hizo bien, hizo bien. Ok, marquemos el bingo. Ok, nuevos Scarab, yes. Más Quality of Life. Pusieron Quality of Life, ¿cierto? Más nuevas. Creo que sí, ¿no? ¿Sí? Atlas 3 Rework, sí. King March se queda, sí. Rework Bestiary, no. Nerf 3 no sabemos todavía. Rework o Rework June, yes. Vuelve sana, sí. Stage nuevo, no sabemos. Buff a skill poco usada, no sabemos todavía. Mecánica, no, pero bro. Me están dando como el hoyo. Ponele voluntad, Marco Roberto. Nerf, bueno, hubo un cambio en recomendado, así que vamos a ponerlo. Mecánica dentro de mapas. La mecánica es dentro de mapas, ¿sí o no? Not really. ¿O sí? ¿Sí o no? ¿O sí? Sí. Es dentro de mapas, ¿cierto? Sí. Nerf, Metagame no sabemos. Reguarda ascendencia, ya lo vimos que sí. Ultimatum, cambio, no. Nuevo botón de map device, no. No vuelve Tota. No vuelve Tota. Nuevo orbe de crafteo, sí. Atlas Rework, sí, con la web de las memorias. Puedo mencionado, no lo mencionaron. Nueva skill, sí. Mostrar nueva skill, ¿no? Mostrar nueva skill, te visita nuevo, no. No hay influencias, sí. La de memoria esa. Y nuevo NPC, sí.
How did you guys feel going into this? And how
Wait, ¿hay nuevo NPC o no?
I mean, honestly, I'm like pretty happy with where we're at. Like, it isn't a, like, you know, it isn't a full year of development.
¿El hermano Sana?
Things.
Bingo!
The main thing is we're kind of back in action now. You know,
Goal!
for how the studio can function.
GG.
The stuff, and ultimately what it required is kind of like merging the teams back together, kind of having everything